Hey, welcome everyone, and welcome back to Musetta Stone. I'm here with Christy and Amanda again. We're going to answer some questions that I have for them regarding education and music and kids especially. We're going to start with our next 4 questions, and like I said before, I hope you guys learn some things from us and maybe even agree with some of the things that we say here. So, alright, we're going to start. My first question for today is, what are some pet peeves you have with teaching music to kids?
I think one of my biggest pet peeves, considering that I teach K-7, is when a kid says, I can't do it. And it bothers me because I truly don't believe that kids can't do it. I think it depends on how long it takes them to get it. Some kids learn music quicker than others. Some kids learn math quicker than others. It's the effort that you put in.
I don't think I've been teaching in public school long enough to form a pet peeve yet, other than when kids don't bring their instruments. Privately, I'd say my biggest pet peeves are kids that know how to do something but are trying to take a shortcut and be lazy and don't do it. Like they know how to read the music, but they would rather guess and then look at my face and go, am I doing this right? Read the music. You know how. The answer is right in front of you.
See, my one pet peeve is that we were all young. We were kids at one point. I have used all of your excuses before.
I
don't have time.
Yeah, I was 7,
tired,
and I knew that I wanted to be outside playing in the fields rather than being in choir. I know that. So don't pretend that I'm gullible here. I know what you're trying to pull. Okay?
I just had so much homework.
Yeah.
Precisely. What do you feel, like how much should the parent be involved in the kids' musical learning?
Well, privately, like a lot of parents really need to be on their kids on practicing. Because as much as kids love playing piano, they would still rather be doing other things like watching TV and video games. And they need that reminder. Most of the time, 90% of the students really do. Publicly, I think just really have music in your kids' life. I'm really surprised by the amount of students that don't listen to music regularly and their only contact with music is while they're in school. And that's when music is just not fun for them.
Yeah. I work more in the public sphere than the private sphere, but I would say even with my kids, I find parent involvement a huge thing, partially because of the practice and partially because it is a way to support your kids in something they're doing in school. Like music is not really, it is mandatory for the K to 7 that I teach. So helping you, I put it in a parallel of helping your kid and supporting your kid practicing music is the same thing as helping your kid in math or helping your kid do science. It is something that they're doing, and it could be something small, like sing me the song you learned today in music class, or hey, have you done your 15 minutes of band practice today? Parental support is a huge thing, and I thank my parents all the time, especially the ones that are right on their kids with practice.
Yeah, for me personally, we're not trying to advocate your parents sitting there watching you practice. That's not the point. No. The point is the fact that when you care about your kids practicing, they see that as like, oh, my mom and dad really thinks this is important.
Yes.
And if they feel that it's important, they will care more about it. The thing is, you don't even really have to constantly be on top of them with practicing. Like, just be there for their concerts.
Yeah.
Kids learn very easily and very quickly that if a parent is just trying to pay for daycare, right, and giving them to music lessons, they're going to find it boring very, very quickly. What is something you find that might be frustrating or that kind of just takes you off a little bit with music in schools?
I think one of the frustrations for me, and this can come from anybody, whether it be student, parent, whatever, is that phrase that, oh, it's just music.
Yeah.
That is one of the most frustrating phrases I've heard definitely more than once. And it's like, yes, it is music. I've also made my career around music. And just because your kid may or may not go that route doesn't mean that they shouldn't care about it. Like, I didn't care about gym when I was a kid, still had to take it, still had to try it. It's some people, some things that come up, and that attitude of, oh, it's just music. Well, when you talk about well-rounded education, music is in that well-rounded education. You just can't force a kid to sit there and do math and science and English all day. You gotta give them something else. Some kids find that creative outlet in art, in music, in drama, and you have to feed those kids something that they want to do too.
And I don't experience this in my school because it's a very supportive school for arts and music and things like that, but I've heard from many music teachers the lack of support they get from their fellow staffs or principals because it's just music.
It's a very telltale sign that a school supports or not supports music and arts and stuff is where it is in the timetable.
Yeah.
If it's before school, after school, or during lunchtime, that's something that they don't support. Because if it's something that they support, it should be part of the general programming of the entire school. It should be a block in the school day. You're a teenager growing up and you have all these hormones happening. 7:30 in the morning is really difficult sometimes.
It is.
I understand. I was a teenager at that time, right? It's hard, right? And for some students, they have to walk to school with their instruments that early.
Yeah, they do.
Right?
Yeah.
And that's difficult. And that's something that frustrates me about schools. It's just, this lack of support and all this stuff here. It's only music, it's only art, whatever. You don't really need it.
All that stuff about it's just music, like that is, I think, in a general sense, just for every musician. That's the hardest.
Yeah, we're not saying that it's all across the board with all schools, because there are definitely some schools that are amazing.
Yes.
Yeah. And we also know, like just to note as well, we also know that there are some schools that are struggling with different things. They're in, you could be an inner city school.
Yeah. Financial difficulties.
Yeah, so we know, we're not trying to belittle what you guys are doing. We're just saying that sometimes it is frustrating just hearing that as we're just dismissing you kind of thing. But it's definitely not everyone.
Talking down at you, like what you do for a living.
Yeah.
That's your life.
Yeah.
What are some things you want to tell the kids out there that are learning an instrument in the public school system?
Don't give up.
It takes
Don't do it.
patience.
So much patience.
And you will get there if you persevere, and you will be so amazed at yourself.
Yes.
So amazed.
Yeah, and just letting you know, we grew up in a different generation. I understand this is very distracting. This is very distracting. I understand this. We never had these things when we were growing up, okay? I understand this is a different world, and I understand that we as educators, we also need to engage you differently. We're trying really, really hard to do that as well. So be patient with us, and also understand that sometimes good things take a time.
We're not saying that you have to love it. We're not saying you have to end up going to music school or anything like that, but to put in that effort and really, really spend the time, and you can see yourself getting better. You can hear yourself getting better. Others can see it too.
Feel it.
So, yeah, and you can, more than anything else, you can feel yourself getting better. And I think that's why we all stuck out for, how many years have we been?
Well, thank you, you two, for coming and doing these videos with me. Hopefully we'll get a chance to do this again. I need to visit Vancouver more often.
Yes, you do.
I do.
Agreed.
Yeah. But hopefully you guys like these videos. I will hopefully make some more soon with other people. Stay tuned. We will have some articles coming up for you guys. I don't know, one of you two might write one. I don't know. So, see you guys around, and I hope you guys have a great one. Bye.